Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Brittany Hayes. I'm an ambassador Diamond. I know that most of you on here know my story, but just for those of you who maybe are new and haven't heard it yet, I have been with It Works for 4 years now. I've retired my husband with this business. I've been able to pay off all the debt that used to hang us down. We paid off 6 figures of debt, moved our family to Southwest Florida, just have finally been able to be yes parents and give our kids experiences and vacations and doing things with them that we used to always have to spend years telling them maybe one day. And so it's been absolutely just such a huge blessing for our family. I want you to know, if you're new on here, whatever goals you have with this business can do that for you. And so start dreaming big. When I got started, my enroller is Claire Flores, and when I got started, I had watched her retire her husband, and I had watched her create the life of her dreams. And so I just remember thinking like, okay, if it works for her, it'll work for me. And I went in with that big goal of like, I'm going to retire my husband. And my husband's like, hey, if she can retire Brian, I know you can retire me. And like, that was my mindset, was like, okay, if she can do it, so can I. And that was what I had my sights set on, was making the 6-figure income, was retiring my husband. And not that there's anything wrong with coming in and having a smaller goal, but I want you to know, if there's a little piece of you inside of you deep down that wants to have that big goal, it's okay to have it, and you should have it. I think sometimes, like, out of like self-preservation, like, we don't want to let ourselves down, so we like minimize the goal because we're like, well, if I don't hit that, that'll seem less than if I have this. But I want you to know, I personally am such a big believer in going all in and having that big massive goal, because I'd rather be aiming for $100,000 a month and fall just a little short at 90,000 than be only aiming at $1,000 a month and then fall short at 900. Like, I'd much rather go big or go home. And so as we just head into a season that historically is so huge for business, the holiday time, people are now more than ever wanting to get healthy. They're like trying to figure out how they're going to fit into that dress. They're trying to figure out how they're going to pay for Christmas, how they're going to pay off the debt they've accumulated this year. Like, historically, now more than ever, you're going to have more potential LCs, more potential DTs than you've had in a while. And so this is the time you really want to maximize your business, and you really want to have that faith just be so huge, because when your faith is bigger than your fear, like, that's when miracles happen in your business, and that's when you start seeing things happen that you can't quite explain. And so I just want to encourage you, if you've been dreaming small, dream big. Dream big this last quarter. Go into 2021 with some really big goals, and be willing to work really hard to achieve them. Because I'm telling you, like, you are the one person who you can guarantee will never let yourself down. The only way to fail in this business is to quit. And so I hope that tonight you can take some of these practical tips that I'm going to share with you. You can take those away and feel more confident in your business, ready to implement them. I think so often, the success that we find in our business is in the details. It's in the nitty gritty stuff. And so often, like, if I get on a coaching call with someone and they're like, yeah, I've been hearing this and I've been hearing this and I'm doing this, if I can identify quickly what's not working, it's something so small. It's an easy fix. And so I hope you have your notebooks ready and you can just really get familiar with the processes I'm going to share with you. And again, walk away with that confidence, ready to just work your business so effectively. One thing that, living down here in Florida, I live really close to Pam, and I get to see her for our monthly mastermind. And one thing she's always talking about with us is like, working on being more and more effective, working on being more and more efficient, because as you grow the business, that is the goal, that you become more efficient, you become more effective. And I really do truly believe that that is found in the details. And so that being said, I'm going to screen share with you guys here in just a second and kind of show you guys some things. But first things first, I wanted to jump into host to post, but I first wanted to reference the influencer application, because I'm going to be talking about that a little bit, and I think almost everyone on here knows what that is, but just in case you don't know, I wanted to clarify. Both in Fire Tribe and Freedom Legacy, Zach, my husband, did a video, so you can just search, probably just search influencer in one of the pages, and then it should be one of the first things that comes up. It'll say posted by Zach Hayes. He did a video showing you how you can create the influencer application. So no excuses. Don't say like, oh, I don't even know how to do that, because it's so simple. And if your husband's tech savvy and you want to pass that over to him, that's a way that if he wants to be helpful and supportive, but he doesn't know how to help you, that's something he could do. Zach may be mine. But I will tell you that it's something that is pretty simple to do. So even if you're, it's all you, like, you'll be able to do it. Bianca just said in the chat, he labeled it "How to Make an Influencer Application," and Amanda said her husband Louis did hers too. So I love it. I think it's so great, you guys. If your husband wants to be supportive, give him something practical he can do. There's lots of ways your husband can help out and be behind the scenes still, but ways that he can support you. And so I think it's awesome when husbands want to be involved, like making sure you give them those little ways they can help. But anyway, so it's called "How to Make an Influencer Application." You can find it in Fire Tribe and in Freedom Legacy. And basically you're going to go watch that video if you don't already have your application made. If you have your application made, disregard this part, but I just wanted to make sure before we start talking, if you don't have one made, you know what I'm talking about, and you can write that down, like, to do that after. And you can do it when this Zoom's over, guys. Like, you literally can make it really fast tonight. Feel free to go to my Instagram and click. My Instagram is just at Brittani Hayes, Brittani with an I, BRITTANIHAYES. Click on mine in my bio, and you can see what mine looks like when it pops up. I modeled mine after Claire's. Claire has a very similar format. And I use the Milkshake app to make the initial part. And then when you do the Google form, which is what Zach shows you how to do in the video, you can put that Google form as a clickable link in your Milkshake. So what I recommend is downloading the Milkshake, doing the starter cover photo, whatever you want to call it, similar to how I did mine. You can do a different format. You can do your own design, of course, your own colors, all that. You can write your own story, but do it like that. And then when you flip to the next side, do at least 2 links. One will be your Google form that you're going to make using Zach's instructions. And then the second one, I recommend doing your Facebook. That way, if it's in your Instagram bio, they can click to go to your Facebook, add you as a friend, and then they can click that Google form. And so we're going to be talking a lot about what to do once people fill out that Google form, how to make that Google form work for you. So I just wanted to, first things first, make sure you guys knew what I was talking about in case you haven't yet made one. Please, 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 if you have not made one, commit to yourself to make that tonight. Like I said, it takes just a few minutes. I saw someone in the comments said it literally took 15 minutes. Someone else said super easy. So yeah, minutes to make. So anyways, that being said, please, please, please do this for yourself, because I promise you this will help you. I saw some people doing it. I'm just gonna be really honest with you guys. I was like, oh, I don't need that. I don't know what I would, like, how can that really make a difference? And I kind of like had to watch other people do it for a little while. And then I finally, like, something inside of me was like, no, you really should make one, Brittani. And so I went to Zach and I'm like, hey, can you help me with this? He made one, and I'm not even kidding. It's been so huge. I get so many people that fill it out. I also love it because I'm super green and I like to have my stuff organized. And this makes, like, anyone that fills it out, their contact information is forever with you. Like, talk about follow-ups being made really, really easy. Like, you have this beautiful list with all their information, even little facts about them because they fill out all that stuff. And so it makes, like, checking in with them really easy when you have a lot of names in your head too. So anyways, that being said, I want to first things first talk about host to post. So host to post, I think that it has evolved so much since it first kind of became a thing. And I want you guys to know how I'm working it, how I'm making sure that it's the most effective it can be for me possible. I've talked to several people that are like, yeah, host to post just isn't really working for me anymore. And I come to find out it's a really simple thing you need to tweak. Like, for example, you don't want people to tag you anymore in host to post. There's other ways that you can do business opportunity host to post that are more effective than they were before. I personally do not think sharing pictures with host to post is near as effective as it once was. So I don't share pictures. Facebook tracks the same photo being used over and over. So if you're giving them a business graphic, or you're giving them a before and after picture, and that's what you're sending to everyone, Facebook tags that photo is being used over and over and over and over again. So if you've been doing that and you're noticing it's not getting you the results it once was, that's probably why. And I recommend trying the way that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. So this is where I'm going to come into screen sharing. So hold on one second. Let me click screen share. Let's see here. And if you guys have questions as I go, feel free to ask them in the chat. Okay. All right. Connect to Wi-Fi. I think I am on Wi-Fi. Tap screen mirroring. I always have to, like, remind myself how to do this. Okay. See, guys, you don't even have to be super tech savvy to be successful with this business. Like, I have to read it like a kindergartner every time I do this, and I've done it multiple times. Okay, here we go. So you guys can see my phone. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys, I shared this with Catherine specifically so I could show you guys. Okay, so I forwarded this to Catherine. She's a double diamond rock star on the team, and I forwarded it to her so I could show you guys too. But this is the only 2 things I do for host to post anymore. Now, if you have a cleanse host to post or you have a hair, skin, nail host to post that you feel like is working for you, I am not telling you not to do that. I'm just simply saying if you're in a place where you don't think host to post is super great, try this. And you know, if you have a hair, skin, nail, or a cleanse one that's working great, you can always use that in addition to these. But especially the business one, I really wanted you guys to see. So that being said, I forward this to everybody. So if they're going to do a business one for me, I forward them the first 2 messages. So I don't retype this every time. I just go to the last person that I sent it to and I just forward it to like all the new commenters. So I'll show you guys what I initially say to them. And then once they say, yes, this is what I do. So, okay, post this, don't tag me, but tell me when you post it and I'll turn on post notifications to follow the post and drop the application in the comments. And then the actual post they're posting for me is, are any of my friends looking for some income working from home? My friend Brittany is looking for 10 people who would like to make an extra income working off their smartphones. Fill out the application below if you would be interested and she'll connect with you. Now, anytime I share this with people, they ask me like, oh, do you have to do it on a color background? Do you share a picture? You guys will notice you're gonna answer your own question. This is what I send them. Like I literally send them this message. Whatever they do with it is what they do with it. I think I have had like one time someone somehow fit it on a color background, but usually they are just posting it normal, like white, and then that's it. And then they tell me that they posted it. And as soon as they tell me they posted it, this is what I do. So let's say Catherine was my person and she says, okay, got it, posted. I would open the message, I'd click right here, click profile, and then I would go down to where she posted it. Let's just say this was the post. I would click these 3 dots. I would click turn on post notifications for the post. And then in the comments, I would drop my milkshake link. Oh, and ironically, this is perfect. She has her milkshake link. So that's what it looks like. I would drop my milkshake link though. And then boom, now anyone that sees that post is going to click that link and fill it out. And then I get notified by email that I have a new person that filled out my influencer application. So it works out perfect. Okay. Now, if it's TFX, what I do is I forward them these 2 messages. So instead of the last 2 for business, it's these 2. So, okay, post this on a colored background. Don't tag me, but tell me when you post it, and I'll turn on post notifications to follow the post. My friend Brittany is looking for 5 product reviewers. If you could take 2, and I just have the little pill emoji, 2 pills a day for the next 90 days and lose an average of 31 pounds, would you try it? So I just send that to them, and then they post that. Now, what I will tell you is the way Facebook's color background works is the more you use it, the more freedom you get with it, as in like you're able to fit more words. So if you have someone that never really uses color background, they might reply to you and say it won't fit. For whatever reason, for them, it doesn't fit. I either just tell them, okay, no worries, you can just post it as is, or what I'll do is I'll go to an old post to post someone did for me where it was on a color background, and I'll screenshot it, crop it, and I'll send them that. So let me show you an example. I'm pretty sure I sent it. This is one of my customers. I'm pretty sure I sent it to her. If not, sorry that you guys have to just see all this scrolling. Maybe not. I sent it to somebody recently. Let me see. Yeah, okay, here's someone where I sent it. So see, she told me it wouldn't fit. And then I just sent her this. My friend Brittany is looking, so like it's the same thing. It's just I screenshotted someone else did it. I might have just done that on my own, but not posted it and screenshotted my own colored background. I think that's what I did. So then I sent it to her as a photo and said, okay, just post this and don't tag me. Let me know when you post it. I'll turn on post notifications. And then same thing, when they say done, I would go like this. I'd open their page. I'd click on the photo where they posted for me. Obviously this isn't the picture, but then I would click turn on post notifications. Easy peasy. You're now going to get notified whenever whenever there's comments. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys really quickly is I only ever say 2 things to my commenters. So whenever people comment on my post, I say 1 of 2 things. I either say this, hi, I got your comment on my cash giveaway for this month. I'm so excited to be able to help a lucky winner have that added blessing during this time. To confirm your entry, I just need you to post something on your wall for me. It's super simple. I will send you a post and you just throw it up on your wall for me, ready for the post. You have to ask a question, you guys, and don't send them the post with the initial message. Like ask them first, and then when they say yes, boom, you're gonna forward what I just showed you, okay? So I send this. If I have already sent this to someone multiple times, then I use a message that I got from Amanda Stein. She's on here. She's a triple diamond for those of you who are new and don't know her, but she shared this with me that it was working really well for her. And so I use this. And this you would want to tailor depending on what the post was, like what the engagement post was. So for example, I just did a post on my Facebook wall just like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. That is, that's Apple or Android. I can show you guys. Hold on. Oops. Just this. Apple or Android, tell me for a chance to earn a $750 Target gift card from me this month. And then people are just commenting Apple or Android. So if I was doing her message for this, I just would say, hey, thanks for your comment on my Apple/Android post. Would you be willing to do me a favor for your entry in the drawing and make a quick post for my family business on your wall? I would really appreciate it. And then if like this is the last message I sent to people and they commented on my new giveaway, I would do this. Okay, so I just kind of go back and forth between the two, or this one, whatever it is. So that's kind of what I do, is I just go back and forth between those. I always ask a question. Once they say yes, boom, let's go back to Catherine's message just so everyone can see it. When they say yes, I'm either going to give them TFX or I'm going to give them business. Again, that's just me. If you think cleanser, hair, skin, nail works really well for you, keep doing it. I'm not telling you to quit something that's not working. I mean, that's working. I'm only telling you try this if it's not working, or add this to your repertoire. And especially what I feel the most passionate about is this business one right here. The business one has been, I got like literally, you guys, just from a couple hosts of posts that I got, a business host of posts that I got up last week, I got like 50 something application fill outs. Like I was voice messaging like a crazy person. Okay. So then the next thing, and then the other thing I was going to say before we move off of this is what I love about TFX is I can upsell. So what I do is when someone is interested in TFX, I voice message them. And I want to show you guys this part real quick too. And I archive my messages, so most of them are not here, but I know I have a couple somewhere. Hold on, guys. I'm just going, this is a mess in here because I archive most stuff, so it's not here. But I have a message I sent, I think this is it. Yeah, okay, so this is a TFX one that someone commented on my stuff, and I literally just record a voice message of me giving info about TFX. And once I say it once, I forward it to everybody else. So you guys will notice, look, exact same messages right here. See 5921, 59, like it's the same message, 5921. Okay, so one other thing I want to say is if they have, if I add them as a friend, I wait till they accept my friend request, and then I send them the message. If I am choosing to not add them as a friend for whatever reason, I'm at 5,000 friends all the time, so like I have to be choosy with who I add. If I don't send them a friend request, then what I do is I just message them hi. So I reply to their comment and I say, sending you a message request, and then I will send you info. So I say that, and then I message them hi. And then whenever they come back and say hi, then I send the info. I don't send info until they've said hi because I want them to connect with me on Messenger before I send the message. Does that make sense? But if I friended them, I wait till they accept my friend request and then I send the message. And then for business, again, they're filling out my influencer application. And so what's great about business is it's not even relevant. Like I'm not talking to the messenger. So what I do for business is I have a text replacement that just says Influ app. That's what I type. When I type this whole text replacement comes up and it says, hi, this is Brittany Hayes. I received your influencer application. I'm excited to chat with you. I'm going to send you a voice memo. And what I do is after the word hi, I write their name. So like, let's say the girl's name was Katie. I'm gonna, like I got her the email with all her info. I'm gonna say, hi, Katie, this is Brittany Hayes, blah, blah, blah. So I recommend adding that as a text replacement in your phone. And again, if you want to see what I did, I just do Influ app. And you can call it whatever you want. That's just personally what I call it. The other thing I do, and I'm just going to show you guys because we're going to get into this later and I probably won't screen share again, but the other thing I do is when I write business posts and I tell my story, when people text me the word opportunity, I write op response. Hi, thanks so much for reaching out. What's your name? So whenever someone texts me the word opportunity, change, ready, this is what I say. Hi, thanks so much for reaching out. What's your name? And then when they tell me their name, I send them a voice message. Same thing for the influencer application people. Whenever I send this initial message, I send that and then I voice message them after. So super simple, and I'm going to tell you guys what I voice message, so don't worry about that. Okay, let me stop the screen share. Okay. If anybody has any questions about anything, that we've gone over so far? Just let me know in the chat and I'll come back to that. I did see someone ask, how do you do that text replacement? I'll just show you guys real quick. Let me screen share one more time. Now this is for iPhone. If you have an Android, I don't know. Google that because I have no clue. But if you have an iPhone, what I do is super, super simple. And I only have just a couple, sorry, it's slow to, okay, here we go. I only have a couple text replacements, but you just would go to your settings and you would go down to, let's see, where is it? It's keyboard, but what is the first thing? I think it's general. Yeah, general, and then keyboard, and then text replacement. And these are the ones that I have. On My Way was already in there. I didn't actually make that one. But influencer application, I use that all the time. Op response, I use all the time. Order in, I use this all the time. So whenever I get someone's order in, I send them the screenshot of their login information from when I enrolled them in eSuite, and then I type order in, and then it just basically says, okay, your order is in, you should get it in about a week. Here's your login information. My website is blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited for you, or something like that. And then ordering LC, I use this all the time. So this just says, okay, great, I can get your order in for you. All I need is your phone number, email address, card number, expiration, and 3-digit code on the back. After I get your order in for you, I will send you your system-generated login information, and you'll be able to log in and do everything. I say that every time. I only enroll my customers. I don't send anyone to my website. I feel very strongly about that. And then sign up DT, whenever I'm talking to potential and they are ready to sign. Like they're like, oh, we've already talked about everything. They have no questions. They're like, okay, I'm ready. Send me the steps. Then I type in my text replacement, sign up DT, and it just comes up the steps. Like, okay, go to brittanyhayes.itworks.com, click join, blah, blah, blah. It's just all the steps to sign up. So these are the things that I use that are simple for me. I don't have near as many text replacements as some people. I know that a lot of people have like everything in text replacement. My personality, I just have most things in my notes. And actually, sorry, I am going to share one more time. I'll show you guys what I do, because I know some people love text replacement for everything and some people really don't. And so if you're like me, I just want to share this with you in case this would work better for your personality. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, so what I do is I have a folder called pricing wording in my notes, and I have pricing for every single product. And I just copy it. And like this works really well for me. So I have what I want in text replacement in there, and then I have what I don't want in there. So for example, like coffee, I talk to people about coffee all the time. It's easier for me if I just come and copy this, because every month you have to change the month. So like, for example, I don't even think I changed this one. I thought I did. So this should say November and December. And so for me, because like you have to change this every month, I just would rather it be in my notes, because that's a lot easier to access than text replacement. And then, oh, I did change it here. Okay. I knew I changed it in one place. I must have had two of these. But I also have like the cleanse upsell message that's somewhere in here. I don't even know. Oh, maybe I have that under messages. Yeah. I don't even know, guys. I have so many things in here, but I have a folder called messages. I have a folder called pricing wording. I just keep everything in there. So I want to find my cleanse upsell message, because that's a good one for anyone that doesn't have it, but I don't know what folder I have it in. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's probably like, I'm going to find it right when I get done. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So it looks like there's an exclusive, and I did not write this. Someone else wrote this and I just tweaked it a little bit, but this is golden. Every time I get someone's order in for TFX, or I get someone's order in for TFX coffee and greens, which is what I sell the most of. So they've already told me they want it, TFX coffee and greens. But they've sent me their info. So I have all credit card info in hand. I'm about to go to eSuite. I send them this message. Okay, so it looks like there's an exclusive offer for you at the checkout for our 2-day all-natural cleanse. You can still eat on it, just no fried foods or alcohol for the 2 days. Drink 1 bottle in the morning, 1 at night, and repeat on day 2. It's $39, one of my personal favorites, and I recommend it with any of our products for best results. It just sets the stage for your body to absorb the most nutrients. Do you want to try this out as well? And then literally, you guys, almost everyone says yes. So now you just went from like 118 BB order for coffee, greens, and TFX to now being whatever that is. plus another 33 BB. So you're like at 150 something or whatever. So anyways, I highly recommend doing this, saving this. I know most of you guys already use something similar to this, but if you haven't, screenshot this and add this to your notes because it's golden. So I think that's everything I need to share for screen sharing purposes. Do we have any questions? Make sure you're putting questions in the chat if you guys have anything. But okay, while I'm letting questions come in, I'm going to just kind of jump right into the other things we're going to be talking about tonight. So we've talked about whatchamacallit. We talked about host to post and putting your influencer application and how to utilize that as far as that goes. But I also wanted to talk about how you can maximize the influencer application as well in your stories and in your posts in general. So what I personally love to do is when I write posts on Facebook, and you guys know I just said I was done screen sharing, but I feel like I need to screen share more. Sorry. I'll be done screen sharing in just a second, but I thought of something else I want to show you guys. Just in case anyone doesn't know what I'm about to talk about, like they've not seen this, I want you to have the visual because I don't want you to leave this Zoom feeling confused. I want you to leave feeling like you have clear direction, you know exactly what to do. So I tell my story every single night on Facebook, and then I do that same post on Instagram as well. That's something I feel very strongly, like as far as attraction marketing is concerned, just always drawing in new people to you. You do want to make sure you're always adding to your network because that's crucial as well. But telling your story is definitely step one, because if you're not telling your story, no one's going to know what you do. So that being said, what I do is like, here's one, and this is not my best one, but I told my story just simply like how I was playing with my son, and this is what I've always wanted, and blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom, it says, I always have room to teach you to, message me or text opportunity to, blah, blah, blah. And then I think I had another one right over here. I'm ready when you are, message me or text ready. And so you can see I tell my story in different ways. So this is what I do on Facebook. But then on Instagram, what I like doing is I like to say in the post, or fill out the application in my bio. So I'm ready for you when you are, message me or text ready, put my phone number, or fill out the application in my bio. And then on my Instagram, right here in my bio is the application. So if you click that, that's going to pop up my milkshake. And then if you go down and read my story, you swipe over to the next page, now you have the application and my Facebook. Does that make sense? So I just think that for Instagram, I always love saying it's in my bio. For Facebook, I don't always put it there. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I find most people on Facebook text me opportunity, but I do drop it sometimes. But I always say fill out the application in my bio on Instagram, because I just think Instagram people, like that's their style. They're all about going in there, and it's like one more point strengthening what your story is too. So maybe they read this story and it tugged at their heartstrings, or they read this story and it tugged at their heartstrings. But now they're going to read this, and this is one more version of your story. You know what I mean? And so now they're going to see that, and it's like if they weren't already convinced, now they're all the more convinced. Does that make sense? And so that's kind of, and here's another example for those of you guys who are like finding a hard time telling your story. I even told my story, you guys, about the lamps that I got. Like you can literally tell your story with anything. I talked about how being a one-income family, like we used to not have extra money in the budget for other things, and now like, you know, just the freedom to have simple things like buy me lamps for my living room, like how nice that is. And so you can tell your story 1,000 different ways on 1,000 different days if you want to. Just start thinking about like what are practical things that the business has made easier for you? What are things that you're so excited for the business to do for you? And just go from there. The other thing I want to share is when you are doing your story, if you have over 10,000 followers, always do the swipe up. And what I do is I click web link and I add my milkshake link there. So I will write on my story something about the business, and I'll say like swipe up and fill out my influencer application. If you don't have 10,000 followers yet, then what you could do is you could write head on over to my Instagram, and I would tag yourself. Like I would write, this is exactly what I would do. Head, because then they can click it, it's easier. Head on over to my Insta at Brittani. Here, tag myself and fill out the application in my bio. And I actually might write influencer application just because I think that gets So maybe you did several slides. So the first one said something about like, I never dreamt I'd be able to make an income working off my smartphone while being at home with my kids. And it's a picture of you and your kids. You post it. And then the next one is like, I have 5 openings to train and mentor. If you've been praying for an extra income, I'd love to help you. Post it. And then the next slide says, head on over to my Instagram at blah, 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 and fill out the influencer application in my bio, and I'll connect with you. So even if you don't have 10,000 followers, like you can still make this work for you. Direct them to your bio where that link is handy. And what's also nice is like, if your Instagram stories link to Facebook, which you can see down here, mine do, then if it's someone viewing on Facebook, now they're gonna go find you on Instagram. They're now gonna be following you on Instagram. They're gonna look at your bio. So it's just like, it kills so many birds with one stone. It's just seriously so effective. Okay, I think that is actually everything now, but I can't make any promises because I might think of something else, especially if you guys have specific questions. But anyways, okay, so that was kind of the other big thing I wanted to share was like utilizing your stories with the influencer application. I think that, you know, sometimes doing the really pretty creative stories that you spend a lot of time on, those are effective, but then I think other times just something simple like I just showed you is just as effective. So if you are busy and it's like a crazy day and the day gets away from you, if you're homeschooling your kids like I am, or, you know, you're working a full-time job and you got off late, don't like tell yourself you're not going to do anything because you don't have time to create the pretty story. I have some pretty stories that I love. Claire made me something that I was like, oh my gosh, how did you do this? And like, I used it and like got interested in that. But I also do stuff like I just showed you all the time. Like my life is nonstop, fast paced. I've got 5 kids, I'm homeschooling. Like I have so many things on my plate. And so my motto is that like, I need to just do it. I need to go take a picture and I need to do something. I can't like sit there and say, well, I don't have time to make it perfect, so I'm not going to do it at all. So if you're not there yet, creating the like really pretty like Pinterest looking things, you know, where you get the little girls that don't actually look like, you know what I'm talking about, like the faceless people, but they look like you kind of. I still don't know how to do all that stuff, you guys. Like I'm still learning with that kind of stuff. So don't not do anything because you feel like you don't understand all that yet. Because I just showed you something anybody can do. A simple photo of you and your kids, you can make a business story. And then as you know, have time to play around, maybe you're up late one night, your kids are in bed, and you're finally figuring out how to do some of these cool creative things, great. A simple app that you can use if you're getting started is called Unfold. You can make really pretty stories in Unfold. The app is free, and it's really simple to use and user-friendly. So that's something great. I just kind of like using a mixture of things. Like sometimes, like again, it's more of a creative story, it's prettier, but then sometimes it's something like I just showed you. So I think that stories right now are so huge. Definitely utilize them in some capacity. Reels are huge right now. And when you do your reels, let's say you do a business reels, it's super short. You guys know they're like 15 seconds. So let's say you do a business reels and it's, you know, boom, boom, boom. And your final call to action is like text opportunity to, or I would love to help you too, whatever it is. Then you could write in your caption, fill out the influencer application in my bio for information. I'll connect with you. Like you could still plug that in your caption. Does that make sense? Even if it wasn't said in the video or typed in the video. And then again, you're just sending them right back to that place. And then again, they might maybe just watch a quick 15-second video that got their attention, but now they're in that application, that milkshake link that tells your story again. It's that next point of contact. Like you want the whole, like, okay, when I signed with Claire, I watched her tell her story over and over and over again for 11 months. I didn't sign the first time I saw it. I signed after watching her for 11 months. So your goal needs to be like thinking like, okay, every time I make a post, I'm watering the seeds with my potentials. Like someone who's already watching me, who could be my next ambassador diamond, they're already watching me. I just need to keep putting content in front of them, keep putting content in front of them. And think of it like this, like your milkshake app, your influencer application, that's one more point of contact for them. Like that's one more time that your story is being told to them. Because if they click that, that might be the last time they need to read it to actually reach out to you. Does that make sense? So that's just, again, like, I feel like by now everyone should be convinced if they haven't made one yet, that they're going to get off this Zoom tonight, they're going to make one, but just in case you're not convinced yet, I just had to drill that point home one more time. But anyways, before we keep going, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to talk a little bit about telling your story, but before we do that, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Melinda, I do not use Instagram to post to Facebook. That's actually not good for your algorithm. So your Instagram story being linked to your Facebook story, perfectly fine. but your actual Instagram posts, auto posting is not good. So what I do is I write it in Facebook, and then I copy the caption. I use an app called Caption Writer because that spaces everything out. I paste it in Caption Writer, copy it, paste it in Instagram. So it's the same post, it's the same caption. I just post it 2 separate times. And then if I do a Reels, one thing I'll tell you guys, just a quick tip, and I am definitely not someone that's like legendary on Reels. I am like an amateur, and I've just started playing around with it. But what I will tell you, in the name of working smarter, not harder, what I do is when you post your Reels the first time, it asks you, do you want to post it as a Reels, like where it shows up in Explorer, or do you want to post it in your story? So I save the video to my phone first, and it won't save it with music, so it saves it raw. Well, it saves it put together, but no music. So I save it, and then I click post to Reels, and then I go back in to do it a second time, put the music back on it. You know, I get it from my camera roll where I saved it, put the music back on it, and then I click post to my story. So that way it's in my story, which went to my Facebook, and then it is in my Reels. And then I take that same thing that I saved my phone, and I go over to TikTok, which I like hardly was ever on TikTok before Reels, and I paste it in TikTok and put the music back on it. And then, you know, just for like, what the heck, like, why not? You already made it. Even if you don't do anything else on TikTok, if you're making Reels, why not throw them over there? Like, it can't hurt. And I'll just give you guys a little story. So my husband, Zach, he has like over 100,000 followers on TikTok. Like, don't ask me how he did it. I don't know, guys. He got 100,000 followers in like 3 months on TikTok doing cooking videos. If you haven't followed him, it's the Zach Hayes. He has a lot of content. I have a TikTok and it has like 100 followers. I've just never been really big on TikTok. I've always focused on Instagram, and that's where I've grown my following steadily. But nonetheless, those 100 followers I put a Reels that I did on Reels on Instagram, obviously. I put it over on TikTok just for the heck of it, because like, why not? I already made it. Why not just throw it up in one more place? And it was a coffee Reels. It was a Reels of me making my coffee. I put it there, and it said, I wrote on there, like, follow me on Instagram and message me there for more info or something like that. Someone went and saw that on TikTok, followed me on Instagram, went to my bio, filled out my milkshake influencer application. My video wasn't even about the business, it was about coffee, but it intrigued them enough that when I said follow me on Instagram, they did, and then they filled out my application. So that is like such a classic example reminder of like, why you already made it, why not go ahead and throw it on TikTok too? Like, I only have 100 followers, and one of those 100 followers felt compelled to go find me on Instagram and filled out my influencer application and is now a PDT. So do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that is how I've always worked my business, you guys, is with that mindset of like working smarter, not harder. I don't overcomplicate things. You know, if you've ever asked me like a complicated question, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, we don't need to do all that, do this, you're fine. Because I just think that like, when we find ourselves in a standstill in the business, it's usually because we're overcomplicating things. Like, you have to just get back to basics, be simple. Some days you're going to be way more creative and you're going to make the beautiful stories, but even on the days you don't, you need to still do stuff. You still need to like, just show up your best self and just get it done. Like Amber Parker always says, done is better than perfect. And I couldn't agree more. So like, do things. I just saw in the chat, Amanda said the lamps so relatable. And it's so funny, I just saw that because I was about to say do things that are relatable. So yeah, do things that are relatable. It doesn't always have to be something amazing. It can be something so simple. Some of the most simple things that you maybe almost didn't post might be the thing that really, really pushes somebody over the ledge to reach out to you. So, okay, let me keep going through the comments. Let's see. Kayla said Reels are 15-second video clips on Instagram, similar to the concept of TikTok. Yeah, and Reels, you guys, I just want you guys to know I'm not a blue personality. Like, I'm not someone that's super charismatic, has all this like creative, fun energy flowing out of me to do these goofy videos. Like, that's just totally not my personality, but I have nonetheless made a couple that have gotten me potentials. And so my advice to you is, if it feels awkward to you, just go do it. I'm not someone that's like amazing at this, but go look at my Reels, especially, you know what, especially if you feel awkward at this, go look at my Reels, because I'm definitely not someone that you're not going to see my Reels and be intimidated and be like, I could never do that. You're going to see my Reels and be like, okay, if she can do that, I think I might have a chance at this too. Because again, like, I see some people who are so good at video, like Zach's really good at video. I know that some of you guys maybe follow other top leaders who are really good at TikTok and really good at Reels, and you're like, I could never do that. That's so not me. go look at mine and you'll feel better. You'll be like, okay, there's hope for me too. Because I'm definitely not someone that, you know, like does anything super cool. I just go in there and just, you know, go for it. Michaela Brown, who's on here, she's double diamond, she's a rock star. She gave me a tip and I am going to do it. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it, Michaela. I actually just told Zach, I was like, I need your help with it this week, video with me. But all the reels so far I've done, I videoed myself. I just like set the little timer and I put it up and I do it. But she gave me a tip. She was like, Brittany, you always get cute clothes from Nordstrom. She's like, you ought to like get some stuff and like do a Nordstrom haul and do like a fashion reels where you're like changing outfits over and over. She said, because fashion stuff is trending so much and like you have the cute clothes, like why not do it? And I'm like, that's such a good idea. So like, if you know, have a bunch of cute clothes that if you're into fashion like I am, like do something like that. And by fashion, I don't mean like, I'm definitely not like Pinterest put together, but I do try to dress nice every day. And so I'm like, that's something I can do. Like I do have some cute stuff. So maybe that hits home with you. Maybe for you, it's like Zach, it's doing cooking videos. Maybe you love makeup and you want to do makeup tutorial. But it's my whole point of this tip I got from her, and I'm going to do it so you guys can see what it looks like this week. Hold me to it. But my whole point of that, sharing that tip that she gave me, is if you have a reels that has nothing to do with business or products that takes off, and it's just a lifestyle reels and it takes off, you might gain a ton of followers just from that reels. And now those followers are going to be seeing your content. They're going to be seeing your business posts. They're going to be seeing your product stories. They're going to be seeing the whole 9 yards. She can tell me if I'm misquoting this, but I want to say Michaela did like a singing reels and got like 1,000 followers in an hour. So, and that's when she told me, like, Brittany, you need to do something fashion related. Like that would be so cute and you would get all these followers. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I wanted to share that tip because I think that, especially if you're just now playing around with it, like why not go ahead and have an idea in your back pocket, like in your head, to like add that to your list. Like, okay, I'm going to get one product one up this week. I'm going to do a business one, and then I'm going to do this fun one, you know, whatever it is that I'm good at. So, okay, let me keep looking at the chat. Ashley said, yeah, I did the chicken wing dance a million times and never posted. Oh, you should totally post. Like, I think like the funny, cute stuff, like that's the stuff that goes really well. Okay. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat because we're about to wrap up. I think so far it's mostly just comments. So I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Let me go up. Emily said, I usually post a story of being on a training and sometimes people reach out to me from that, potential DTs I had no idea were watching. You know what, I'm so glad you said that, Emily, because people a lot of times don't get started because they think they're not gonna have any help, they're not gonna have any support, and they think they won't be good at it. And that really is so smart because when they see it's a community, they're like, oh, there is help. Like I would be able to learn how to do this. One thing I want to read, just because the chat won't be on the recording and I want this to be on the recording, Amanda shared this tip back when we were talking about products. That's really good. She said, I will also say that I recommend drinking our greens in conjunction with the cleanse to maximize the detox results. The greens are basically a little powder sachet that you mix in water or juice. It has 52 different fruits and veggies and minerals and 16 full servings of veggies. So it really helps alkaline and detox. You want to try that too. So that is an upsell message that after you've upsold cleanse, you can say that too and just keep upselling. If you've ever read the book Go for No, you know the whole concept is that you just keep going until they say no, because most people will keep saying yes, actually. So, all right, let me keep going up. I think I got all the questions, but if I miss anything, speak now. Okay. Yeah, I think everything people were asking for was shared. Okay. All right, let me go back down to the bottom. Should Instagram be set to public because reels are private if you're private? Yeah, so what I'll tell you guys about this is that if your Instagram is private, like Ashley just said, your reels they're not gonna show up in Explore. They're only gonna be able to be seen to your followers. So, you know, for me, I did build my Instagram being private. Like I got to over 10,000 followers being private because when I would request people, they had to request me to see who I was. And so I got so many follow backs that way. And I went public like I went public after I was over 10,000 followers. And I did that at that point. And I was like, okay, now I'll be able to do hashtags and stuff like that. But I waited until I was over 10,000 followers. And I think I was already ambassador. So now it's a little bit different because reels, there wasn't reels when I was doing that. So that wasn't a factor. If you're going to be doing a lot of reels, I would say switch to public for the reels to be able to be seen and to go and explore. And so you can get that organic traction. if you're not going to be doing a lot of reels and you're at like 500 followers, I personally would stay private and build that way. That's just my personal opinion. There's definitely people that disagree with me, but I've seen the fruit of how I was able to build being private, and I've seen how other people get more follow backs being private too. But if you're going to do reels and you're committed, you're like, I'm going to do several of these a week, I would go public. But if you do one or two and then you find yourself, it's a month down the road and you haven't been doing it for whatever reason, I'm not saying you should find yourself not doing it, but if that's the reality and that's the case, I would probably go back private while you're following, and then turn it back public when you start doing reels again. But that's just me. One more thing I want to show you guys, and then we'll wrap up, just because I feel like this is something I get asked about a lot with Instagram. A lot of people don't work Instagram the way that they could because they just are intimidated by it. They feel like it's harder than it is. And so one last thing I want to show you guys is, just because I get asked this a lot, like, how do you grow your Instagram? How are you following people? So I want to share this with you guys. Okay. So rude, you guys. Someone just called me old on Instagram. See, I get negative comments too, you guys. And they make me laugh, and I'm like, all right, just gonna keep killing it. Okay, so I go to a picture in my Explorer. Let's just say this one, okay? This has 20,000 likes. I would click it, and then I would follow people who looked like I might have something in common with, who are private. So like, she's not private, let me go. I personally like following private people because I think they're more likely to request you back. That's just me. They have to accept the request. They're more likely to now go request you. If they're public, I'll just tell you I'm public. I don't even know who follows me. Like, this is my, so like, if do you see how it blends in? Like, it blends in with your likes. So like, if you're not checking every single notification, like, you wouldn't see it. You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I follow all these people and they didn't follow me back. Well, if it's public people, they probably didn't see it. So that's what I do, is I click there. Here's a mom and a baby. That's a really pretty picture. I don't follow the person, because the person probably, like, she has 100,000 followers. She's probably not going to follow me back, but her people would. And then you don't want to go to who they're following, because some of these people maybe aren't even active Instagram users. Like, there could be people that have been following her or she's been following for 5 years, and they're not even on Instagram anymore. So by going to the likers, what you're accomplishing is you're actually finding active Instagram users. Does that make sense? So I just would go down, and I usually try to do like 50 at a time so I don't get blocked. I would like follow. And then that person's public. Sometimes sometimes I get lucky and I find all private accounts. Sometimes I don't, but then, yeah. And then what I will tell you also is, if you find a completely normal person, let me show you guys an example. So let's say, sorry, I know this is a little bit monotonous, but I just want to show you. Okay, so if it's someone more normal, that's not like a celebrity, there's a better chance that their people are private. See, like, first person I clicked on was private, because normal people have more normal people following them. Does that make sense? And so a lot of times, if it's like a blogger or something, then you're probably going to find that it's a lot of big accounts following them. So I try to find the normal mom and then follow the likers from those pictures. And that's usually where I'll come across like a gold mine of someone that, a gold mine of several moms that are just like me, that are at home. They're in the same boat that I was in when I joined Claire. And that's what I want. I don't look for someone big and fancy on Instagram. I look for the normal everyday mom. I look for the normal everyday college student. I look for the normal, newlywed wife who just got married and is already dreaming ahead for the future. Like, that's who I look for. So like, I personally firmly believe that like, your gold mine is that person that only has 200 followers. Not the person that has 20,000, the person has 200. So I go for just those everyday accounts, private accounts, just small followings. And that's the people that I find, like, if they get started with you, they're going to be loyal. More often than not, they're going to be excited. They're going to be hungry to learn. They're going to be dreaming for their future. So I hope that helps. I love the comments. If Brittany's old, I'm in trouble. Devin, I'm pretty sure we're like the same age, but thank you. You guys are making me feel better. It's always funny, like Instagram, I feel like it's like such a happy place. Like, it's so different than Facebook. I actually feel like people are less you know, at Facebook, you find more judgy people, more people with opinions. Instagram's not generally like that, but then every now and then I will get on there and then there's like something like that. And I'm like, rude, the nerd. But I just wanted to share that with you guys when I saw that, when I popped open just now, because like, just let that be a reminder. There will always be haters in the world. There will always be negative people, but you do not have to let it steal your thunder or steal your joy. I just keep on scrolling and I'm just, you know, can still be living my best life. So I hope that if you've been encountering some negativity, that you can take that away, that you don't have to let it affect you either, because there's always people like that in the world. It doesn't matter if you're just getting started in the business or if you're all the way to the top of the company. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I will get this recording uploaded soon. If there's any questions you think of you meant to ask, feel free to send me a message or ask like in the comments of the Zoom announcement in the team page, and I can answer it there too. But I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.